Hello guys, I'm back with another game from the final stage of the tournament. This one I have heard is a banger, so let's go. So in this match I was a bit
Battle control initialized.
a bit skeptical that it will be fair, because Goljat and Brezel, they are missing their strongest player. So Marvolution is not here, and he's the strongest one, I think, of that team. Depends a little bit, but usually if he plays well and plays something he knows, like GDI or Soviets, then Marvolution, I think, is the strongest player of that team. And he's currently in holidays. I think he's traveling India with his family. And so these two are playing against SBHBS and Yugiri, and these are the strongest players of the team. So that's why I was like, woof. But I have gotten 3 replay files, so we already know this is not going to be a 2-0 match. So it's, I guess, a closed one. A very close match. Yeah, so it directly starts with some action, not big surprise on this map. We have Goljat here on the lower part and Brezel on the lower right part. Not enough energy here, my friend, you need more. And we have SBHBS on the top, and he's already pushing. We are curious to see it. SBHBS often comes up with innovative and crazy stuff. We have Yugiri here, who has been playing screen most of the time and seems to pivot now to not. I mean, we have also seen some great not play from him, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were the not buggies, the Reckon bikes with the rocket hail bikes. The really good ones, I think. So, and he had like Chinooks to support it. We have seen that stuff. It was really strong. I hope I'm not confusing it, but I think that was another match and it was great by those guys. And okay, so here we have MLRS again, also on both sides. They have a new model now. I like this model very much. I think it's pretty cool. Also, when it shoots, it just opens up and then shoots out the missiles. So big improvement of this model, I think. Okay, so here we have some obelisk troopers. Actually, they're not that bad, but against MLRS might be hard. So very interesting fights here. The guys here are advancing with units that have no chance against this infantry. So, and here the MLRS sweep up the not units. Not bad. The mobile sensor array is taken out, but the other one is destroyed. Here the GDI won as well, so both sides, the MLRS won the game. Not the game, but the fight. I think artillery is okay in this situation. Most of the time, if you build this really crappy artillery, it's bad. But if you have some protection and you can use your longer range against the MLRS, then why not? This army is already on a push. Strong by Brezel, but the obelisk might be a showstopper here. If it's backed up by the other units, then for sure. And oh my god, he's just driving into death trap. No mercy for his troops. He just sacrifices them all. And the MLRS at least some retaliation, but now will go down as well. So we can just switch to this fight here. Oh, the artillery will be destroyed by the battle tanks. The artillery has no chance against the battle tanks. It's okay against infantry and the MLRS, but the battle tanks must be kept away from the artillery. Otherwise you have no chance. The Eurocopter Tigers are great, but keep them away from the MLRS. Against the battle tanks, they're really good. The Orcas goes the same way. Nice, nice, nice. But the MLRS just take out the Orca, and the same will happen to a Eurofighter, Eurocopter. House said, no, the artillery, man, what are you doing? Keep them behind. Yeah, that's a good hit, actually. The artillery is really cheap, but yeah. Funny, Brezel just took over the old Derrick on the other side. Why not? If it works, it works. We have some base expansion up to here. which is already claimed by Yugiri. A very intense game. I like it already. Nice fights here. The scout tanks, the artillery. I think they need to upgrade the army. The mobile sensor array on this side will give these units more range. As we can see here with this icon, it is range improved by the sensor array. There's a scout plane. I think here this is very bold play. If you do it, get more harvesters up here. Oh, cool, great. Maybe then get a defense tower or something. It might not go well if you just have nothing there. We will see, we will see. Still, he's again out of power. That's not very smart. Everything produces slower. You take a look at the stats, then we can see that SBHBS is the man of the match. And some funny airplanes come in and shoot, but only hit a few infantry. Earnings-wise, Brezel is far above the other players, and the army is the same. However, oh yeah, we see Juggernauts now. I think a great addition here. Against the Obelisk Troopers definitely, and against this army certainly. This now happens what I was expecting with this totally unpredicted base quite close to the opponent. Maybe he didn't know that he has this forward command that he can take and build from here. I'm not so sure. The Orca is not the right response to the guys. But the MLRS definitely is. But not in a direct confrontation. You need to use your range advantage. Okay. And there is the base is defended. What a surprise. I did not expect. Oh, what a power outage at the very worst moment. Now the Obelisk, it would have taken out a tank or two, but now the power is gone. Okay, it shoots infantry. How bad? You should maybe focus the tank with a lot of HP, because one hit might be enough. Yeah, the Obelisk will just shred all of that. Boom. The army built up by SBHBS is really dangerous for Goljat. This is a really dangerous army. If he just pushes in here, I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure if Goljat can stand this attack. The crew launchers, if handled correctly, if you retreat and shoot and retreat and shoot, you can win this, but tough. Juggernauts, really nice here. You can use against the Obelisk, and that's what he does. Because why not? Okay, here we have Hailstorm MLRS. If not, go some air units, then you want your MLRS. The Hailstorm upgrade is dangerous. I don't think you need a Hailstorm if you have Juggernauts. It's better to keep your anti-air option with the MLRS, in my opinion. Obelisk Troopers do a really good job. You should focus them down with the Juggernauts. Oh my god. Oh, he's trying to overrun them, but it's so dangerous. Oh my god, he's absolutely horribly handling his units. Just pull the guys in the watchtower. The watchtower will kill infantry. You traded really bad here, my friend. I think the push was good that way. As a defender, you can just pull into defense towers. There's a stealthed screen tank. More artillery barrage here. The problem with the Juggernauts is that this is like a very heavy, very coarse artillery unit. A lot of health. Fire 3 projectiles. If you have a lot of them, you can just take out insane armies, but if you have just a few, you're mostly not gonna hit. Like if you fight, it's total big difference with the Juggernauts if you fight like 20 versus 20 other tanks, or 2 versus 2, because a 2 versus 2 you're more likely to lose than 20 versus 20. With huge numbers, the Juggernauts, their inaccuracy does not matter that much, and the high range becomes relevant in big fights, and it's not so relevant in small fights. There's just like the stealth tanks are the total opposite. These are like class cannons. They deal a lot of damage, but they're really, really squishy. Okay, this army has retreated mostly. So now Yugiri has pulled ahead with the damage dealt. He has done a great job here, pushing Brezel back, who was about to be fine. The strategy. Oh, we have some Yuis here. Crew Yuis. Against the MLRS, they don't really stand a chance. I think the crew upgrade, they cannot shoot on airline. That's very sad. You can shoot on the MLRS though, that's not too... Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh my god, he has a really hard time. He struggles a lot against these stealth scrim tanks. Yeah, the PDL upgrade is super. It's awesome. There is a sniper somewhere, I think. But I haven't seen him. So, but this army is no match. There's no match from Goljat for this army. And I think the game will be over now. The oil derricks are a good call. That's not too bad. Secure your income early. But I think it's better to secure the ore fields first. So I think the game is over. Whoever sent me the replay left the game at this point, and that's fine. So yeah, very intense, very good game. I think the guys had a really hard time handling the stealth tanks. And here Goljat also had a hard time against this stuff. Maybe he should have built a little bit more stuff. Let's see. Yes, maybe. But no. Oh my god, yeah, Brezel traded really bad. I mean, he lost like more than 3 times of his army value.
Control terminated.
Yeah, there's a lot of improvement possible here. Let's
Battle
just
control
see the next game.
initialized.
How this unfolds. Okay, that's a completely different map. Now we have more resources. We have
Battle control initialized.
distance between the teams. We have a narrow passage. And we have this funny bug that on this map you cannot see the whole game at the same time. So we have SBHBS on the lower left. We have Yugiri on the lower right. On the top we have Goljat with Skrin again. I think that's a good choice, especially on this map. And Brezel plays Talon again. So SBHBS is France. And Yugiri is Market again. So he switched the faction, no longer GDI, but rather allies. I think that's fair. You can do that. It's on this map. Maybe I wouldn't do it, but okay. Maybe for some reason makes sense, like Aegis Cruiser and stuff. If you get the ships going, that's a good thing. Both are playing very defensively. There's not much going on here. First units coming forward now. Maybe there will be, I won't call, I'm not so sure if we can call this a rush. Or if it's already a mid-game push. Oh, here are some Venoms. The Venoms are not really good in this job. I think he had maybe other plans, but he could upgrade the heavy laser Venoms. Then it would be great for taking out harvesters. Okay, we see offensive ships here. That's the play. I think that's really good. That's something that can be game defining here. And show the guys what's going on. So the earnings graph says Brezel and Yugiri are on top. Yeah, they are Aegis cruisers. That's an excellent choice. So this secures the air superiority on the top pond. I think It's an insane advantage getting the naval yard on this side here. I think they should totally shut down Goljat's air advances. But however, Goljat can build hover units that attack the ships over sea. He is, let me get this, Traveler, so he can get Devourers. They hover. Oh yeah, he has Devourers. Those guys hover, and those guys are really great against the Aegis Cruiser. But then this guy, he can get some submarines, or he can get... Here we have also ships now from Yugiri. But the Hailstorm MRS have really long range, I think. But is it really Hailstorm? Yeah, these are the ones. So I'm not so sure. But actually the aircraft carriers should have even more range. But now he's getting frigates. Yeah, there are the hover units. Great, and a barrage at the same time. The Easy IE is experiencing connection problems. What is Easy IE? Ah yeah, nice. We have a spectator, Niels and Easy IE. I don't know if this is a human that named himself Easy AI, I don't know. Oh, the Venoms take out all the good units. That was a horrible fight for the team on the right side. And they have now a lot stuff to push with. That's a nice army composition. That's what you want. The Venoms are heavy laser Venoms, so they can really do a lot of terror on air, and they do so. He, I think, wishes now to have Eurofighters again, but that's not an option here. Oh my god. Heavy lasers. He should put down more anti-air guns. Otherwise, he's really going to lose these fights like crazy. I'm not so sure if these orcas can really handle this stuff. I mean, they're squishy as hell, the Venoms. It's not looking good for the team on the top. There's a lot of ships on both sides. They only have a few Juggernauts, a few Titans. Oh, but the upgrades on the Titans are really nice. That's not too bad. The drone carriers, why not? I think they cannot attack air, I think. But against ground they are great. So here the point defense laser do a really good job. I think that he should really attack with the Titans. Oh my god, they are EMP'd. How did that happen? And also a Mammoth MK2. That's really good. What is SB? Okay, the guys have completely retreated and regrouping now. A lot of Crown Cardinals. That's a big problem. Now we have battle cruisers and Aegis cruisers. That's not much they can do about it, except for getting some kind of naval yard down here and pump submarines against this. Would make a lot of sense here. The orcas are absolute fodder for the Aegis cruisers. You are just getting completely pounded, my friend. There's nothing you have done to this army with a lot of PDL with your rocket-based orcas. Yeah, I'm not so sure what the game plan is for the team on the right side. Screen airships is something we can talk about. It's something that can change the outcome of the game. Maybe with the rift openers you have some chance against the Aegis cruisers, but I guess not. Oh my god, SBHBS has left the game. He has a disconnect. That's super sad for that team, I think. But that might explain why we see 3 replays. Now it's like a 2 versus 1 day. The guys are still here. Niels writes lol. Yeah, lol. That's super sad. The guys will still fight, but will not move, will not take any orders. I think they were definitely ahead. It was not like the game was already lost for the top team. The bottom team has a nice advantage for being like here with the naval yards. That's a nice advantage, but the game usually is decided when these fields are taken from the team on the top, or like these fields for the team on the bottom. These Tiberium fields here are important for some income because they constantly recrow blue Tiberium. Yeah, go Ray. I guess so. Yugiri wants to make a rematch, but it doesn't seem like the enemy is accepting this idea. Because they still keep pushing and playing. Easy IE is not a IE, it seems to be human, and Ray and Goljat says no. I think he wants that victory really hard. It's okay, I guess. I mean, SBHBS is gone. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they could just say, okay, man, here's our proposal. We do a rematch with this game. This game is cooked. This doesn't make any sense. Not part of Patrick's rules. No, well, Goljat, you can agree to a rematch. You don't have to. I mean, it's my rule is not that you have to accept. You have to decide on such a game. Disconnect. That it's continued. You can agree to do a rematch, and not count it. It's all fair. However, I would also be like, oh, here's the deal. Like, we are the two strongest players of our team, and you are not the strongest players. So in the rematch, we just pull in our weaker player, and then we do a rematch with like the guy Tin instead of the two stronger ones. That's an option you can go for. It's something that I would say would be fair. It would be fair maybe in the first place to say like one game is played with Tin. So, but I guess I don't know the reasoning. There might be some reason why they don't want to do it. I guess the main reason is they want to win. So now I think they will easily win because the 2 versus 1 is not winnable here. This is really, really, really too hard. I mean, seriously. That's a 2 versus 1 on this map. And I think the Aegis Cruiser player, that was the important part. That was the strong part that would totally deter the Skrin army. I asked Patrick in games. Yeah, well, I mean, if the guys have decided they want to keep on going, then they have decided this. I mean, it doesn't matter what if you ask me. Yeah, it will take ages. It will take ages, but I don't think they have any chance on the bottom. He should instantly take over these fields and like stop his ally from eating the fields. But I think he has a lot of shit to do here. Let's see how this unfolds. Yeah, the Skrin army, it's good. It's really good here in the 2 versus 1, of course. Oh, it's even the biggest one. Interesting. So Goljat is the man of the match here. If we look at who destroys more than Brezel is the destroyer. Oh, he has actually lost a lot of stuff. Okay, the game is now lagging a bit on max speed. Maybe I should go for 100%. Okay, here we have a big fight now. Everything is coming in. Though they're pushing through the middle. He has motherships like crazy. But not the army behind to support it. I don't know why. However, it's just a matter of time. Oh wow. Huge explosion here. Oh, we have flak. Sea scorpions. Oh, why not? Yeah. Well. The crow cannons keep firing like crazy. But on the long run, everything will be taken down, and no SBHBS will not recover because he's out of the game. So I don't think Yugiri stands a chance here. super sad, super unlucky. Yeah, he's using the long range stuff against the ships, but the ships also long range, so I don't think you can win an artillery fight against the drone carriers, really, as long as your aircraft keep going through. You deal a lot of damage, you cannot really dodge it, but the ships can like go away really, really far. So, oh, the Sea Scorpions have quite a good range. Oh, we see the whole map thanks to the Allied Tech Center spy satellite that's now up. Yeah. So now Goljat is the man of the match. No, Yugiri is the man of the match, but Goljat kills more than Brezel. Well, the army values are quite similar, but Yugiri needs like 2 times the army values to win. Okay, so now EZIE seems to be a Russian guy, and I think he says YMCA is the best game in the world. It's very nice, thank you a lot. Okay. The game drags out a lot, but I think it's not winnable for Yugiri. The guys just keep pumping and pumping. I think the earnings also similar. Yeah, okay, Yugiri has a bit more earnings. Maybe if Yugiri can get also a hold on this sea, but now we have Aegis cruisers for that team by Brezel, and that I think makes it really hard. Especially the Nord aircraft are not that strong. They cannot really do anything against it. So what you need to do is get a shipyard here. Build the Sea Scorpions. I don't know, build some submarines. And then with the drone carriers take out the bases, but that's just easy said and hard to do. Since the Screen army is clearing up that area. So that's the nail in the coffin. If these naval yards stay up and keep producing stuff down here, the Aegis cruisers are really bad against ground targets with their rockets. They can shoot on it, but it's not really good. I think he could even try to kill those with the Sea Scorpions and would stand a chance, I think. The air units, okay, they have a lot of range and shoot a bit of lasers, but yeah, the drone carriers maybe. Yeah, interesting. The Aegis cruiser is a really strong one on water. He also picked the drone carriers now. I'm not so sure if the patch is already out where the drone carriers got improved. I think back at that time they are still a little bit worse than they are now. The buzzers are just pulling through. It's over. The game is over now. It's mostly a matter of accepting the fact that this game is lost. And it's okay. If you lost with a disconnect, that's not something to feel bad about it. It's just sometimes you have bad luck. That's okay. The guys are coming and they win the game, but he doesn't give up. He's a fighter. Did he write something? No. Now Bretzel's army is pushing. Yeah, he still wants... Okay, SBHBS now defeated. Now Yugiri tries to defend this, but there's absolutely no way this is to be defended. Especially not now that they have water access here. not much they can do. GG, sorry for the connection loss. Yeah, well, man, you tell the guys sorry, but I'm not so sure if they will really think that you feel sorry about it if you just deny a rematch. So we go to a third game, and I guess the third game should be won by Yugiri and SBHBS, since this game was only won with a disconnect. Before the disconnect it looked really good for the team of Bottom, and the first game was also won. This is now a totally different map. I have to admit that the guys are a little bit better on this map, where it's more about resources and bigger fights. The other map was more about doing good hit and run and like doing the best with the few resources you have. So the game is now over for real. I don't know why Yugiri is not yet defeated because of the oil platforms. He's really not giving up. That's a bit stupid. But okay. The buzzers will now kill the buildings. Buzzers cannot kill buildings, no? How sad. Okay, now the game ends. So, okay, fair. Let's hop into the final match of the guys. I think that will be very interesting. Maybe it's a bit clear.
Battle control initialized.
I mean, it's easy to predict who's going to win that. That's the game. Okay, they have decided to go for all that glitters. I think the tiebreaker map is all that gunners, but that's for 3 versus 3. So I think they just decided, hey guys, let's play all that glitters. It's a smaller version. The game is not going for that long. It's not that big. So we can go home earlier. I don't know, because usually the Russian guys are a bit like, please, we are like 1 hour ahead. Can we not do it too late in the evening? I don't know. Maybe they just like the map more. Whatever, we will see it. We see some scouting at least. That's good, but not enough. Players should scout more, especially not with these units that have no vision range. The buzzers also same trash. Yeah, the scouting here is not very good. Oh my god, the bombers. That is something we have seen already quite often. Brezel, GG, Niels. I mean, ooh, it could happen again. We will see. But he has a second MCV over here. He needs power so his flux can shoot. It makes a lot of sense if the flux shoot down some aircraft before they actually land their bombs. However, he is recovering from this shit. He still has the service depot. It's not so smart to put the service depot and the construction yard directly to each other, because if you lose both and you don't have a second one yet, you're instantly out and cannot build one anymore. But then the next bomber run is coming. But he already has a third MCV, so he might just go for that one. I don't know. So he's already safe at that point, and it might just be enough damage to take it out. No, it's not. But the follow-up infantry push might be enough, especially the turret here. It is not good against infantry. So I guess. Yeah, he needs something to stop the infantry from pushing. And the bunker here is a great defense against the obelisk guys. He could have won that, but he might also have lost all of the guys. And then in the red, on the red health level. So we have brothers here again. Oh my god, bombers are coming for the other player. And I don't think this MCV can hold it. It's down. But he has a second one, so money wise this was not worth it. If there's a follow-up bomber push on the second MCV, then maybe it makes sense, but he does not have any bombers yet ready. These infantry will not die to rocket soldiers, but to buzzers. So I think the playfield is leveled here. Yugiri already has a forward base, that's cool for him. He's not really having an army yet. He just had a few obelisk troopers that were trolling here and there. We have Mirage tanks in the mix, that's really good against infantry. The Mirages are great against infantry, and we find 1000 cash. Lucky you, man. So he's also expanding, not as offensive as Yugiri. We see the Venoms again, this time not yet has a heavy laser upgraded. But I think for this early game you don't want the laser, you want to be able to take out like prism tanks and take out these like artillery units, screw launchers, stuff that we see. And then you don't need the heavy laser, it's even better without it. But later you want a heavy laser against the heavy tanks and you need more range and so on. But it's really hard to play the Venoms as these are class cannons or like very agile hunters of armies that have no anti-air. Here we have just a few anti-air units like these. Well, these are, but all of them are rocket soldiers, so maybe not a good idea to go in with Venoms. So I think at this point the bottom team is doing better than expected. On Sahara map they had a big struggle. It was really hard for the guys to keep up with the stealth tanks and the rocket tail bikes. I don't know why we don't see rocket tail bikes here, because this open map with like many expansions and so on is actually great for just showing up here with rocket tail bikes, showing up there. I don't know, here we see a funny push just across the whole map. I don't think this army stands a chance against the obelisk troopers. Stealth tanks, quite similar problem, but you can't just, no, you can. Now we see the whole map, that's nice. And the army is not pushing optimally into this, but I think, oh my god, how many combat Chinooks are there? Yeah, there's no chance for the Green Army. It's a lot of combat Chinooks, and he even loaded railgunners in there. Oh my god! We have a lot of storm hunters chasing those guys down, but in the backwards movement they are really strong. The rockets keep coming out and they just fly away from the storm hunters. They have now a big problem. The combat Chinooks, he loads railgunners in those, why not? That's a great idea. Just give them a little bit more punch against PDL units. It's a big weakness, PDL, and then it's no longer a weakness. Yeah, the guys will have a lot of trouble dealing with the Chinooks, I think. Well, he has a lot of stuff, but only these guys can shoot air here. This all anti-crowd. No, a few antilopes, AA. Okay, okay. Now, we even have an army along the combat Chinooks. Do they have PDL on some units? No, they don't. I think that would greatly support your Chinooks if you have some PDL units underneath. And then you can just retreat if rockets are coming and the PDL just takes down the rockets and then you can go for hit and run stuff. I don't know. Just an idea. So the map control is definitely with the top team. The army advantage is also with the top team because they don't really have an answer yet to this stuff. Yugiri is surprisingly low with the income. And same goes for the army value. Goljat has a big army, he has a lot of stuff. Which is not too bad, but it might not be the perfect stuff for this match. I'm a bit afraid he will suffer heavy losses now. I don't know, it's an insane engagement. You line up your units and send them in one by one, but the buzzers, they soak up so much damage. Maybe it even... Oh, what a great cast of the frenzy mode that lets the infantry shoot even faster. He mobs up so many units. That was insanely good trading, and the Chinooks just take out the rest. It is looking really bad for the team on the bottom. The Chinooks are doing one hell of a job, and they really have to figure how to handle them, otherwise they will lose the game to the Chinooks. The Storm Hunters are okay if they can reach those guys, but if you're flying away and using your range advantage, it's small but it's sufficient to win, then the Chinooks even win against the Storm Riders. So here the crew launchers just totally control the crowd. I don't think there's much he can do against this, except for getting the Chinooks in, and then he will realize, oh man, I needed anti-air. Luckily, a few of the Creo rocket soldiers here, they just help him to stay alive. Otherwise, the Chinooks would have just mopped up all the tanks. The SSM launchers are a great addition, taking out the Creo launchers. He still has PDL, but if he keeps shooting in enough, it's not a problem, and that's what we just see. If the rocket soldiers are taken out, then it's easy job for the Chinooks. So man, you know what your job is, and there we go. Yeah, that's absolutely great team play. The two know how to play together. I think that's one of the reasons why they defeated Karl M and TC Prot so well. I like the team play. I like to see how nice they support each other, how nice their pushes put together. I think their big weakness is their income. So the other team has so much more income, so they can totally afford to take losing fights like the fight they just did. They can just do it because they replenish their army faster. Still the map controlled with the top team, so if they keep on doing this, they mine more, their half of the map will be mined empty, and then it becomes a big problem. Then you can no longer trade this bad, then you need to get winning fights, and you need to get some map control back. So I'm really curious how this plays out. I think it looks really good for the top team. But there's still possible that the bottom team finds answers. So they really have been, I mean, questions were thrown at them. One question is, Combat Chinooks, my friends, what do you think about that? Is it something you like? I guess not. The SSM launchers, yeah, why not? This is a good addition here. Maybe even upgrade it to the multi SSM launcher, and then you break any PDL system. I don't know if he has PDL. Doesn't seem like it. That's super stupid. Especially against the Combat Chinooks, it's not so bad to have some PDL to at least at the beginning soak up a little bit of the missiles. Prism can great pick here. The long range is good. It's something that helps against these mammoth, but you need to handle Combat Chinooks. And now you have a Eurofighter. Eurofighter is a good idea, but you need more. You certainly need more. The Eurofighters are really strong against air. Yes, the PDL takes out the SM launchers. I think oh my god, you don't have any anti-air. You are losing completely to the Chinooks. Oh my god, that's a horrible fight you've taken here. Something like this can decide a match. Now he's going for your harvesters, but the Eurofighter fend them off. My respect, boys. Really good not to be taken out by the Eurofighter. That's a strong play. He just built our ore purifier, I guess. So now the harvesters are chrono harvesters. Yeah, this is the best match, definitely. It's a really good match. It's absolute bliss to watch this. I'm a bit tired, but this match, totally keeping me awake. It's really nice to see how Yugiri and SBHBS play better together, and like they find better ways to land that damage. But the team on bottom just has more resources. They just build more shit. Just throw them. Yeah, maybe you want to stop these funny paratrooper tanks that were like dropped in your base. No, you don't. Okay, why not? Now you just drive away. Of course, you just casually drive away while your power plants are being taken out. Why not? I mean, who cares who needs the buildings? It's just like, don't show them that you give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. You're just so cool. You just drive away. Okay, Goljat comes over to help. Let's have a look at the earnings. They show quite a similar picture, but now the earnings might be flipped because the Chinooks take out all the harvesters on the top. That's really problematic. Yeah, in this situation, the Eurofighters are not so good if the Chinooks fly away and shoot their missiles backward and you're chasing them. But still, Eurofighters are a dedicated anti-air aircraft. Oh my god, Orca Iron Warship. I think in this version they still bugged a little bit, or a lot, and in the next version many bugs will be removed. So I'm really eager to push out the new version soon, so we see all these funny bugs fixed of so much stuff. It's a great match. It's really a great match. Both sides are adapting and trying to find some ways how to change it. The Mammoth tank is not upgraded. I don't know if that's a good idea. SBHBS, you have 4 points left. You could just get some upgrades on your Mammoth tank. That would, I think, help a lot. Just imagine the Chinooks, how awesome they are if you have some PDL Mammoth with them. You just, like, prevent some missiles hitting you. That's a good idea, yes. Especially the Eurofighters. If there's Mammoth underneath and they have PDL, the Eurofighters can't do anything. But of course it does not really fit together from the playstyle because the Chinooks are fast and agile and the Mammoth are really slow and tanky. So if you want to be here and there and hit and run, then maybe the Mammoth can never keep up. So that's why he completely says like, I don't care, I don't care. Get away with your funny upgrade ideas. We have planetary assault carriers now, and these guys, I think they could change the match. That's something that wouldn't have made sense already 10 minutes ago. Maybe 5. I don't know. I mean, in game time, of course. Yeah, it's crazy. The game is going for really long. These are the end game fights, the late game fights we want to see. The Mammoth are getting totally shredded by the Creo launchers. You need some PDL, my friend. That would be an upgrade for your Mammoth. But now come the Chinooks and they just turn the stick around. But not really, since the Eurofighters again come in and say like, no friends. Here are some funny Sidewinder missiles that will take you out. We have heavy laser venoms again. I think the carriers, as long as their interceptors keep chasing them and attacking them, would be the winning ones in these fights. Oh my god, 4 more Chinooks go down. That's so bad. It's such a hard-hitting punch in the face. So I think with like building many Eurofighters, Brezel managed to turn the Chinook situation around. And the carriers here also something they have to find an answer for. I think the obvious answer would be rocket infantry, rocket cyborgs, along with SSM multi-launchers to break PDL systems. We see troll crates from time to time. I think the obelisk troopers, they are good. There's a nice unit, but they are not the right thing for this situation, especially if you're not doing an attack move, but rather a right click move. I'm not so sure. To me, it looks like the bottom team is now winning, something I would not have expected here. Absolutely not. But they're playing really good. They just like took their time. They were like, we don't go into offenses that we're gonna lose. We just build more stuff. We just adapt to your stuff, and then we will see who's still standing at the end. And I think bottom team is now winning. It's clearly winning, and this is unbelievable. Let's just lift all the shroud. Yeah. So Brezel is doing a really good job. No, the little fighters should attack and not fly past. Whatever. Still worked, still nice. The screen units down here. The guys can just casually take out some obelisks on the long run. Yeah, that's how you do it. Very good. So the top team still has a lot of ore left. There's no worry. I think they should get more economy, more harvesters, build more stuff. So if we look at the earnings, I think there will be a huge gap. No, not so much. Less than I expected. But I think it's looking really, really bad. You lose this harvester, then you have this left, and a few here. For me, it's really strange that the earnings are so close to each other, but I think it's because here is no refinery close to the ore. Here are 2 damaged refineries. Here's another. So the earnings of all teams are not so big, not so good. I wonder how the top team wants to get out of this mess. I mean, they need to produce more harvesters, they need to collect more resources, and they need to match this army. And you can't really match this army with combat Chinooks, because the carriers, if they fire on the Chinooks, oh my god. If he even has PDL underneath, then there's no chance. You guys are lucky he does not do that. I mean, he has 1 tripod here, but that's not really a PDL protection. It's better than nothing, but not enough for relevant deflection. And the Chinooks, I think the guys have adapted enough to the Chinooks already, and the Eurofighters just do their thing and shoot their missiles like crazy. He doesn't really care. He could easily use the mouse command and let the guys chase really fast, but he does not do that. Whatever. I mean, okay. I think the bottom team is really winning this. Super unexpected for me. The top team now has some trouble to find their way. It's like, the heavy venom laser is not working. What is this, man? Well, I mean, they should work, right? But no, they don't. They cannot shoot air. And you don't have like huge chunks of PDL tanks that stop you from attacking, and you want a laser weapon to go through. It's not how it works. So, I don't know. He's still going for the Chinooks, but now they found an answer, and oh my god, this will be so painful. I think at this point he doesn't even care if he loses all the Eurofighter. The important part is to trade and to prevent the Chinooks from like coming from a funny side and wiping out another army again. So my big respect to that team for realizing how they can handle the Chinooks, since they were already, I think, in some kind of panic mode, but now they have just pulled the shit together. They are pushing. They are the ones now that take map control. The ore is getting really, really, really thin. So the bottom team must do this now. They must take the map. If they don't take the map now, they have no more ore left, because their trades were worse, much worse. Let's look at these stats. Yes, the trades are a little bit worse. I thought it would be. The numbers would be horrible, but I think this still is something where I get out of my hammock again, because the match is really, really good. The Chinooks would do a much better job fighting the carriers instead of fighting the Eurofighters, I guess. Yeah. Oh shit. So the Chinooks are just outnumbered here, I think. The Eurofighters on the right side don't even search them, but this scout tank push is deflected by the combat Chinooks. What does the income say? Still similar. I'm really surprised. I would have guessed the bottom team is pulling away, but maybe they have really long path to get to the ore fields here and there. Yeah, nice, but Eurofighters, man, Eurofighters. I think he just found a nice answer to your combat Chinooks. They're really expensive, and it's not doesn't matter if he trades 1 for 1. The Eurofighters are not as expensive as the combat Chinooks filled with rocket soldiers, and maybe you even add the railgunner. Not now, but maybe again, or did in the past. It's cool to put another railgunner in there, give it the extra punch against point defense lasers. But oh my god. No, you cannot really survive this. I think this is over for the top team. At that point, they will lose the harvesters. And when they lose the harvesters, they cannot really come back into the game. Oh. The rift openers just shooting somewhere for the splash damage, I guess. I don't know, but this is too far away. Splash damage reaches out a bit, but not so much. Okay, here we have another push. Infantry, but Mirage tanks are in the mix. They should actually work quite well. He just lets the Eurofighters fly over the anti-air building. I'm not so sure this is smart. Bit skeptical, but I think it's right of Brezel to take this fight no matter what, because if he can secure the field and stop the harvesters from harvesting, that's a GG. That's like... But they still have a lot of ore here, so maybe they can hold out longer. Yeah, the combat Chinooks, when they are let alone, they're really dangerous and devastating, but if they're handled with the Eurofighters, here's the Eurofighter. Yeah. So I think this game will be over soon. There goes a weather storm in the base. What a nice force shield. He prevented a lot of painful damage with the force shield. But I think the push is so strong. The army of Goljat and Brezel is far above the other army value. Income is still similar, so their trainings are now much better. I think they just very good adapted to these combat Chinooks and the Obelisk Troopers, so they really had their eyes open and found a way to stop the guys, because at the beginning it looked like they will lose to combat Chinooks. My dearest respect, getting back into the game, taking over map control, and now winning as the last ore is being mined. I don't know if when this game will be decided, but I think the top team has a really hard time to stay alive. They just don't have much. The army values, I think, are very different of the teams. Yeah, it's like more. He is like Goljat has 3 times more than SBHBS and more than 2 times more than Yugiri. So wow. And Brezel also looking quite good. I don't know who has done more damage, who's just stacking up units. But we see here Brezel has done 350k damage in dollars, and Goljat only 270,000. Both numbers are great, but it reflects also that they trade 1 for 1. So every player here is about killing the same as losing. So the Eurofighters are not really something that easily wins the game against the Chinooks. I think a better option would have been crew, rocket launchers and spec ops. Just spread spec ops here and there, they are invisible, and then you just mark the Chinooks, and then the rocket soldiers are like... If you can do this and manage to get this going, it's really good, I guess. Eurofighters also a good option. Usually they are for taking out aircraft that cannot shoot back, or shoot back really slowly, like planetary assault carriers. But they also work against the combat Chinooks, because the combat Chinooks are super expensive. What is this guy doing? Yeah, I think it's over. I don't really see how the team on top can win this. There's already a painful screen army coming. And that's also, I wonder a little bit why Yugiri is no longer playing screen, because he was quite okay. Quite good doing this. But now it is, I think, 2-1 for Brezel and Goljat. My dearest respect for winning this game, coming back like that. A nice match. Yeah, I think here he has now spec ops. A little bit too late, but now he knows how it works. Also good. Yeah, the bombers are a problem for infantry, of course. So the spec ops have these funny lasers here, and when they point a laser on something like a building or a vehicle, then these rocket soldiers can shoot from very, very far away and hit it. So that makes it possible to shoot from safe distance, while the spec ops are invisible and you need special detection vehicles to show them, to find them. But of course the enemy also sees the laser pointer being hit at the building. Yugiri is defeated. Yeah, I think the game is over now. I would say congrats, really strong. My respect. Coming back, of course the enemy will be, your opponent will be like, but we only had a disconnect. Yeah, maybe those teams will see each other again in the finals. That's a possibility, and I would be curious to see that. So, as the game is over, have a good night. Bye bye, I'm out.